Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Common Sense Crypto Channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. Now, I want to address some of your comments that you had in the comment section in some of my videos. A lot of you were worried that XRP could be confiscated by the government. Well, a former Ripple executive actually tells why that can't happen. According to Hamilton, confiscation of XRP is impossible for at least three reasons. First, the developer notes XRP is a decentralized cryptocurrency and cannot be seized without forcing key holders. Second, it is easier for the government to create its own digital token if it needs it for its own use. And the government's not going to come up with an alternative to XRP either. I feel that the government's going to need XRP in the future for on demand liquidity at some point. Finally, if the US government restricts everyone from using XRP, it would kill any use of the token and it would simply be replaced by a fork. And I don't see government restrictions happening either. Now, this plays into the buyback narrative a little bit. On top of that, it plays into the idea that XRP is going to be so scarce in the future that the government's going to have to take it from us for their own use. Sure, I feel that XRP could be scarce. We see Ripple buying it back off the market for on demand liquidity in some countries. But I don't know exactly how scarce XRP will be until we cross that bridge. We can only speculate on it. But then there's one narrative that's always talked about inside of the community. People say there's no way the government's ever going to allow all of us to become millionaires off our XRP. If that was to happen, a loaf of bread would be $100. A gallon of gas would be $50 overnight. Well, the total holders of XRP is 4,342,550 throughout the entire world. Right now in the US, there's 21,951,000 millionaires. And last year, the world got 5.2 million more millionaires. So if that was the case, then right now a loaf of bread would be $100 and a gallon of gas would be $50 because we already got 5.2 million millionaires, so that would make sense, right? But the thing is, we don't know for sure the impact we would create in the world. I feel a lot of people are going to lose their wealth, people outside of crypto that are beholden to fiat currency so much that they'll never go over to the digital system. I hear from people all the time. I'm never converting the money to digital, and they'll have to allow both to exist. Well, that might not be the case in the future because of bail ins at the banks, which we talked about again on this channel. But where our impact is not that big when you look at the 8 billion people that are in the world today. And I still feel that a lot of us are only speculating around things, but I don't believe the government's going to take our XRP from us. I don't think they're going to restrict any use of XRP. In fact, XRP at some point would most likely go mainstream and be utilized on a daily basis, not only by the US government, but the government of all the countries in the world. Deaton predicts that the investigation into Sam Bankman-Fried, the head of the infamous FTX exchange, will uncover a number of dirty details regarding his meetings with top SEC officials. As a result, the lawyer expects the current head of the SEC to resign. And I believe Gary should just step down at this point. All of us, because we invest in crypto, know the corruption that's really going on at the SEC. You know, Sam Bankman Fried and the fall of FTX shined a light on that corruption. I'm sure there's other corruption going on as well. I read the SEC lawsuit against Gemini and Genesis briefly, and I didn't see any argument that the digital assets themselves are securities, only that notes were utilized and so were subject to SEC registration. This is not the crypto exchange lawsuit I expected. Jeremy Hogan said that. And that's because Gary's working above his authority. For some reason, he wants to take down all of crypto, most likely because the banks are afraid of crypto, or certain banks want to get deeply involved inside of crypto, such as JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. So Jeremy Hogan, I had to share this because this is actually really funny. By the way, if anyone else has been stuck in the Nashville airport for 5 hours, I am at gate A1, and I have a tin of cookies you can have. This flight is slower than a Bitcoin transfer. Many years of crypto Twitter have prepared me for this zinger. I thought that was great when I read it. I figured I'd share it with all of you. More proof that if Ripple loses, and I have not idea of what will happen, that it will be open season for SEC Gov enforcement actions. SEC sues crypto firms Genesis and Gemini over lending product, Charles Gasparino. I think what he's trying to tell us here is that if Ripple was to lose, we could see more of this happening on a daily basis. Gary would tear crypto apart. I believe Ethereum is honestly next. It's disappointing that the SEC Gov chose to file an action today as Gemini and other creditors are working hard together to recover funds. This action does nothing to further our efforts and help earn users get their assets back. Their behavior is totally counterproductive. And again, if they're trying to get people's funds back to them, then let it happen. Why does the SEC have to get involved if they're working it out? You charge them after the fact. This impacts retail, less money to go around, legal fees and fines. It's like running a stop sign that wasn't there and giving someone a ticket. Please give clear guidelines that bolster positive growth. And that's what the SEC should be doing at a time like this. They should be helping these companies evolve. Meet with them, tell them the direction they should go, keep innovation flowing throughout the United States. Good news, the permit was approved for a peaceful gathering in front of the SEC office in Washington, D.C. on January 27th and 28th. Join us as we remind the SEC Gov that we require them to do their job that we pay them to do by protecting retail investors and not hedgies. So there's going to be a gathering in front of the SEC office on January 27th and 28th of this month. I just thought I would share that with you as well. 8 major media companies, including Bloomberg, the Financial Times, and Reuters, have demanded public disclosure of the two individuals responsible for guaranteeing FTX former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried's $250 million bond. Now, they didn't actually name anyone here, but you could bet that it's some high-profile person, most likely George Soros, maybe. But if I was Sam Bankman Fried, I would be worried about being out on bail. Only because I know a lot of people want to keep him quiet, I'm sure, because look at who he's tied to. Look at Epstein, what happened with him. Bombshell exclusive from Fox News. Biden SEC Chairman Gary Gensler deleted key details of meetings with George Soros, Hillary Clinton, and Nancy Pelosi from the public version of his calendar. Did they discuss FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried? Now, I showed you this in the past in other videos, but I thought I would bring it up again because a lot of people said in the comments, you need to keep this news going. Get it out there. Let people know what's really going on. And let them know about the corruption. So why did Gary have to hide those meetings? I believe it's because FTX was getting a free pass. Keep the money flowing. Soros Fund Management owns Bitcoin stateside. Treasury Secretary Yellen and SEC Chair Gary Gensler have said they have no plans to impose any kind of restrictions on cryptocurrency trading. Only on Ripple, though, right? So that's because this is who they're looking out for. People like George Soros. They're not looking out for the retail investor. I said it time and time again. Even Elizabeth Warren, she's always like, I'm worried about the retail investors. No, she's not. She's worried about the big banks and her political friends, such as Soros. I can't believe this guy's even still pulling strings in Washington. At his age, he should be sitting at home on the porch sipping tea, not out there making trouble for everyone in the world. Hey, Congress, can you explain to me why Gary Gensler public calendar is still missing August, September, November, and December, and none of you are demanding its release? And again, it's because he's most likely wiping certain names off of his calendar, especially once FTX was crashing down. George Soros revealed as player behind Twitter operation to shut down Hunter Biden laptop story. And like I said, this guy at his age should not be doing these things, but yet he is. And it's being allowed to happen. And these are very angry old people, in my opinion. They don't want anyone to make any money, period. They want to hold all the power in the world. But I believe that what's going on here is you could see how the ties are all bound together, all leading back to the President of the United States, tied to George Soros, tied to Pelosi, tied to the SEC, all coming together. The United States-based crypto industry advocacy group, the Blockchain Association, has said it will stand with Ripple Labs amid its ongoing legal battle with the Securities and Exchange Commission, claiming the case could be very important for the future of the industry. So, like I said before in countless videos, Ripple is fighting for the entire crypto space. And a lot of people keep saying, no, we're not all in this together. Yes, we are. If you hold crypto, we are in this together. And even the crypto industry advocacy group knows that. The Blockchain Association knows that, because a loss for Ripple would tear apart the entire crypto space, but a win for Ripple could set off the next bull run. Keep that in mind. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.